Hi, Vince here from Azerius Computers once again. This time I'm going to do a video about some tools that I've got. My cameras, my basic setup. I'm in a tiny little room here. It's a bedroom in my house. I work alone. That's how I like it. I'll just show you my setup so far. Always trying to improve, etc. And see if I can go over things fairly comprehensively. So what I'm going to do is switch to my mobile phone, and I can move around, and hopefully my hand's steady enough to show you everything without shaking around too much. Okay, I'll switch over now, so I'll see you when I get there. Okay guys, here I am on the mobile. Just show you, I've got, excuse the dirty windows, I've got tools all around here, so just give you a quick squiz around. So this is my main workstation here, one that I'm currently working on, Microscope. Now, well, let me sort of explain some things. Obviously, tools, solder, all sorts of things here. Everything pretty much in easy reach. So I've got a couple of little shelves down here. I don't have much room at all. As I said later, look at cords and crap everywhere. Got a bench over here, old computers I just can't throw out because they're just classics. You know, just gear everywhere. So I'll show you my first bench is my main bench for my microscope, etc. And I'll come back to this because I think it needs some more effort and time. So that's what I call my main bench, main workbench. Everything's sort of stacked up here. This is the workbench I use also with cameras. And a great light here for lighting everything up. It's much better. I love a lot of light when I'm working. So more tools on this side. Trusty landline, multimeters. So when customers come in, I just normally put them straight on this bench, whether it's a desktop or a laptop. Got all the connections for everything here, all hooked up, and I just plug in what I need, obviously. So it's already just a hook in. Same thing over here, but this one's a little workbench. I normally put a laptop on here, sometimes a desktop, to put, you know, to do software sort of things, etc. And another bench here with crap all over it. More jobs, waiting for parts. A couple here I did today. It's a MacBook Air there and a tiny Acer. Some bad hard drives I'm going to strip down. And I've got power supplies over here. One goes to each bench, and you'll notice I'll show you my other power supplies later. I've got connections for the two types of Mac connections, and you know. Anyway, not much else to show there. And I do have another bench out here too. I'll take you out in the lounge room, won't show you too much of the mess. So this is in the lounge. Stuff there waiting for customers, for sale, etc. And this is, it's an iMac there waiting for parts. Spare soldering iron. Who turned that TV on? My old spare microscope, another old soldering iron back there, stuff everywhere. Another computer out here. I often find I do all my clones out here. Anything, software, that sort of thing. So anyway, get back out of there. So back to my main workstation. Let's go, and I'll show you. Obviously, I've got my oscilloscope over there, which I don't get to use very often, but it's very handy. Now, I guess I'll show you the cameras. These cameras, I've got two of them, one on over each workstation. The Sony A5100, I think. Two of them, got them both second hand. They work great for what I'm doing. Of course, the old Logitechs there. All on microphone stands. Just got adapters for them, and I've mounted microphones on each microphone stand. Even got my multimeter mounted on that microphone stand. Very handy, out of the way, simple to use. Of course, OBS there, if you can see that. And I just control OBS from my old OnePlus One Android phone. So I don't know if I can get them both in. Anyway, I'll just change scenes. Don't know if I can do that. So go to overhead, if you can see it changing. Thermal camera. Desktop. So, you know, mark my words, I might as well just go through them. So overhead, just my face microscope, seek thermal, desktop. I can record straight from there. And this is for my other station. So side, overhead, and split scene for both. So if I go back and start pressing them, so that's the main one, overhead, microscope, thermal, desktop, and over to the other station. That's the side camera, overhead, and a split screen. I do have a spare camera here, but yeah, very, very easy to use like that. Instead of mucking around with the mouse, I just got to tap it. And it's called Touch Portal. And I'm just using the free software. And as you can see here, I've got a couple of slots, 3 slots free for anything else that I'd like to put in there. And it's all free. Excuse me, which is great. Alright, microphones all mounted on cameras and microphone, multimeter, all mounted on microphone stands, all my different types of solder there. By the way, the phone's just stuck on there with a makeshift, you know, one of them car window, and it works very well. It's in really good reach. So, oscilloscope, we've been just had a quick look at that. I'll just show you the model number. I can't remember all these models, etc. Just in case you want to look up what they are, what I've got. My microscope, I've actually got a spare camera for it, but I've just got everything rigged up along the boom stand. I cannot tell you how good that boom stand is. I love it to death. A lot of people don't like them, but it's as steady as a rock. It will bounce around a bit if you really stomp, but you know, microscope, I've got it set for the thermal camera, the height, so you know, I just push it down. Anyway, the microscope came from China. I'm very, very pleased with it. Got a really good price with the stand and everything, shipped from China. I believe that was around $1,100 with the camera. and with a light as well, although I've changed this light to a polarizing one, and if you see, that's the power supply for it. And geez, I wonder if I can show you the polarizer. Nope, can't see anything. Sorry. Alright, anyway, but if I get in fairly in focus here, I'll just get close. Sorry guys, I had it at the right distance for the thermal camera, that's all. So you can see with the polarizer, I'll just turn the other light on. It works really well. It doesn't show up, I'm sorry, it doesn't show up quite as well through the camera, but through the lens it's fabulous. So you can see there how much easier that is when I polarize. And both sort of states and in between different polarization levels work really well for whatever you need. What else have I got here? Hot air station, of course. There it is, industry standard. Now I've got a few different power supplies. This one's a Wavecom PS 305p, the Wavecom, and that's the one that I can use on screen. Has a USB interface. This one's here, old Lavolta BPS 305. It's really handy. I use these two all the time. Now the JVC soldering iron. I can never remember the model. CD something. Is it on there? Oh no, it's on the back. Anyway, I'll just get round. Maybe I can get round the back. I've got the tech extension module for it, so now I can run 2 irons. So I've got the, what was it, the T245 and the T210, isn't it? Yep. So very pleased with that. Oop, she just clicked on. Starting to go to sleep now. Very, very happy with that. What else? I'll just try and show you the model number of that. There it is. CD2HE, is it? Okay. Oop. Now my audio, I'm running through Focusrite Sapphire with 2 inputs. Is it Sapphire? I think so. I can never remember model names. And a couple of old Ehuas, 35Ds. I've had them for a long time. I really like them. They don't seem to cause me any problem. I've never had any drama with them. They seem rock solid. I got them early when they first come out, and that's what I began with. Now they're just spare ones for whatever I need them for, and that's basically it for tools, I think. Well, the major tools anyway. Oh, these are really handy. I've got a couple of sets of these, really handy, for HP and Lenovo and Dells. They've got the capacitor inside them, I believe. Never have a problem with charging a laptop with them, or you know, seeing the middle pin. So very pleased with those. There are a couple missing out of here that I've found, but there's no problem finding the other ones and ordering them. And of course there's a lot of different knickknacks that you'd probably all have. Anyway, hopefully that gives some insight into what my equipment's about. Obviously just a couple of older computers to run OBS and whatever else. Doesn't really matter as long as it does the job. And I'll get back to off the mobile phone, I should say. Okay, so that's it for tools and parts. Tools and whatever. Doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed it. You can compare what you've got, whatever. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try and answer them. And now I'll just sign off. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends if you like what I'm doing. Hopefully more repairs to come later on. Now I'm a lot more set up, and some good things to come, I hope. Alright, thanks for enjoying. Hope you did. Bye for now.